the Bowels of Netflix, where your fearless co-hosts Isaac and Larry force each other to watch the worst pieces of shit on Netflix. We will go over every bad edit, all the broken dialogue, all the wooden acting, and laugh along the way, because this is the Bowels of Netflix! All right, welcome to the Bowels of Netflix. I am Isaac, and with me, as always, is my co-host Jesus. How are you doing this week, Jesus?
I'm doing great. My body and blood have never felt better.
I just had some of those.
Oh, did you?
This weekend.
How was it?
It was all right. It was good. It was a Merlot, which I was surprised by. Like, I thought a Shiraz would have been better, but, you know.
I mean, just all right.
I'm
just giving my body and blood for, yours.
The Salvation thing was great, but a Shiraz would go better with the wheat bread. So I'm just saying. You got to think of my palate.
I could just hit you with lightning.
You could, but you won't, because you love me.
Oh, blood of the lamb. Which is my favorite term in religion. Because what the fuck does that even mean?
That's a good point. This is the Bells of Netflix.
Oh, sorry, wrong podcast.
This is the Episcopal Church. You can find us online at at Bowels of Netflix, Twitter, Facebook, bowelsofnetflix@gmail.com if you want to send us a nice lengthy email discussing how we've offended you in your religion. Or something else. If you have any movie suggestions, that'd be a great way to go too. Or if you've seen any of these movies and you have your own personal thoughts you want to share, maybe we missed something egregious, maybe you really liked one of these movies and you want to tell us why you're a moron.
I would love to get one of those emails. Now, a very good friend of mine did say that he has a very good fondness for white chicks, but that was just because at the time of his life it hit a certain slot, not so much that he was acknowledging it's a great film.
Yeah, I think I mentioned I had that relationship with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I saw that when I was 13, I think.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it since. I enjoyed it then. I'm sure if I saw it now, I would not like it so much. But yeah. But yeah, so this is the Bells of Netflix. The basic premise, if you're just dropping in on episode 14, every week, one of us forces the other one to watch the worst movie they can find on Netflix and describe it in excruciating detail. So this week, Larry, what have you made me watch?
A Ja Rule starred, and I'm going to assume produced and concepted by, flick called...
Starred in.
Okay.
That's all.
I'm in Love with a Church Girl.
Yes, it's a horror movie about a flesh-eating virus.
I mean...
Wait, that was last week. Fuck.
If I was wearing a shirt, I'd be pulling the collar off.
Tugging on the collar there.
Yeah.
So it's a romantic comedy for Christian persons
now,
of the faith of Jesus.
For those of you who might remember a couple episodes ago when I did Love, Wedding, Marriage, and I nearly lost my fucking shit for reals.
Yeah.
That's
a bad movie.
I thought to myself, I gotta counter this. The only way I know how is to go Inception him one level deeper. He gave me a romantic comedy. I gave him romantic Christian comedy. He sends one of mine to the hospital. I send two of his to the morgue. So, that sort of thing.
Yeah. And not to get into too many personal details, but I am somewhat of an atheist, and I am not necessarily a fan of Christianity. Everyone's personal faith is a personal choice. So that, you can do whatever you want in your relationship with God or the lack thereof.
Yep.
But organized religion causes me some distress.
Yes.
So
I believe we're in the same exact boat in that scenario.
This movie is extra painful because there's an awful lot of God in it. And an awful lot of organized religion. Okay, but...
A church girl. Could you define for me what a church girl is?
Church girl.
Because I'm going to be...
Probably Lil' Kim.
Lil' Kim's a girl?
You didn't know that?
No! I'm not being funny. Wait, what?
All right, quick. What gender is Lil Bow Wow?
Lil Bow is a boy. That I know.
No, not what gender was he then. What gender is he now?
What?
I think he's still a man. I'm not sure, though. I haven't checked lately.
Oh, the pictures are... Wow, really ambiguous.
he was a cute boy.
Anyway. Joy. Hey.
So, all right. I got to give you a little background on Ja Rule, because I learned an interesting story about him and some of his legal trouble. So we're just going to touch on that real quick before we get into the movie.
You told me about this. I cannot wait. I'm in the edge of my seat.
He is involved in several lawsuits of hundreds of millions of dollars.
That's a lot of billions.
It is a lot of millions of dollars, even for a famous rapist such as himself. The lawsuits are in regard to the Fyre Festival. Fire spelled Fyre because cool. This took place in May of 2017, so fairly recent, just about a year ago at the time of recording this. So this was a festival where thousands of people paid thousands or up to tens of thousands of dollars for a music festival, which is supposed to be the height of luxury, taking place on a remote Caribbean island. They were promised these ridiculous...
Okay.
Shut up, you. They were promised to have these crazy beachside resorts and butlers and all this sort of stuff. Gerard Butler is going to wait on them hand and foot. I love that.
2 weeks in a row with Gerard Butler.
I know. It's so good. How did he survive with that name until he got famous?
I know.
So
you're talking to a guy named Larry Beard.
Yeah, good point.
Larry Dennis Beard, as we found out last week.
You've embraced
so stupid
that
fucking
name.
names. Think of that. With a stupid name like that, you could become a fat licensed man.
So when these people arrived at their Caribbean islands, they found disaster relief tents with dirt floors and wet mattresses. The only food available were cheese sandwiches and salad in styrofoam containers, and reportedly stray dogs roamed the beaches. Only one musical act performed before the festival was cancelled, but the only airport on the island quickly became backed up, and many people were stranded for several days in brutally hot conditions, at least one of them passing out from heat stroke.
What in the world?
Yep. That's all I got for you now, because this is just a quick Wikipedia dive. But I urge all our listeners to take a look into this nonsense, because there's something about trying to make a new kind of credit card, and they were I don't know if it was a Bitcoin, some weird thing where they had their own card with their preloaded money. It's the biggest scam in the world, and Ja Rule is going down in the flames of a fire festival.
Weird. Ah, fucking
yeah.
Weird.
Very interesting. So, okay, I'll give you some details quick about this movie, which came out in 2013, so a little while before the fiasco of the Fyre Festival. Although, interestingly, it was filmed, I believe, in 2010, just before Ja Rule went to jail for tax evasion and illegal weapons charges, but was released in 2013 after he got out of jail. He's doing well for himself, Mr. Rule.
Clearly. Mr. Rule.
So, the budget of this movie was $5 million, and the gross was $2.4 million. So it lost quite a bit of money, kind of like the Fyre Festival.
So this is a precursor of what's to come.
Yeah, it's like a trend. Ja Rule just does not do well in business ventures. Somewhat interestingly, because we've been noting, IMDb has come in with sort of higher ratings than we've been expecting. Mm-hmm. This one is still middle of the road. It's 4.5, but it's a little lower than some of the ones we've seen recently.
Yeah.
But Rotten Tomatoes is really interesting because, as I would expect, the tomato meter sits at a 6, which is extremely low, and that's the critic aggregated score. But the audience aggregated score is 64%.
Okay, I've had time to think about this. Because I remember looking at that and thinking, well, there's no fucking way. And I don't want to step on your toes. Do you have any more to that bit?
No, that's all I have. Other than Jesus just smashed the like button on Rotten Tomatoes.
I thought about it this way, because the only people who are going to watch this movie are people like us, and I'm talking not like a regular movie reviewer. I'm talking like a niche, like, hate each other, what the fuck can I find that's just terrible and valueless, and people who love the genre. And now I am gonna just, let me step on some toes here, and I'm gonna say, I don't know that I trust the taste of people who are like, I want to watch a good, wholesome Christian romance comedy today.
Yeah,
I don't know that I think their taste is gonna jive with what might have their thumbs on the pulse of America, you know?
There was, I gotta try to find it now, I think on Rotten Tomatoes from an audience. Was it something else? Well, okay, the only good critic review was solid performances by Ja Rule and Adrienne Bailon, whatever, who apparently was fucking one of the Kardashian brothers and was on Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
There's Kardashian brothers?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they're...
That actually used to make me watch that show and I retained none of it.
But they call the movie an inspirational story to make an enjoyable film.
Well, that just can't be right.
Hogwash. All hogwash. But before we get into the nitty-gritty details of the movie, we're playing another game where you need to identify if these quotes are actually in the movie or if I made them up.
Oh, I love this fucking game.
Yep. Oh, this one's a doozy, too. I don't exactly have... I'll tell you what. Because the movie I'm picking for you next week...
Oh, fuck me. I think I figured out what it is.
You love... the original movie.
Oh, God, I definitely know what it is.
And this is a sequel of the movie. If you... And I won't tell you beforehand, but if you get a certain threshold of these quotes right, I'll let you review the original movie. Which you love, and is a great movie.
It is. I think I know. I don't know, but I think I know, because I know you, and I know me, and I know you know me.
So... do well, Larry.
God.
Godspeed. I wish you the best. So,
fuck. I'm gonna
you just need to let me know if these are quotes from the movie or if I made them up.
All right. How many are there, and how many do we have to get right?
There's 8, and I'm not telling you the threshold.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Because I don't want you to metagame, because you're gonna get in there and you're gonna needle around, because that's what you do. That's what all the beards do.
I'm a monster. I'm aware.
You really are. Okay. So first quote.
God damn.
Last time I read the Bible, it said nothing about style being a sin.
That's from the movie.
All right, you are correct on that one,
that seems like the innocuous sort of thing that could paint Ja Rule as a bad boy to the people who fucking want to watch a Ja Rule Christian romance movie.
Very astute, sir. On to the second quote. They say God's always watching out for you, but sometimes you gotta watch out for yourself. You dig?
That's you. No one says you dig.
All right. Well, they do say you dig. Trust me.
You know what? You're right. That was bad criteria. I got lucky there.
No humans say you dig. Bad writers think humans say you dig. Okay. Third quote. Sometimes life feels like I'm laying down a beat and the Bible is God rapping over it.
Okay, judging from what I remember of the synopsis, the 4.5 minutes I watched in clip bits and pieces, I think this is going to be a movie where Ja Rule learns his lesson at the end, and I don't think... It seems like he's going to be the type of person who's going to be stand out, and that seems like a line only he would say. I'm going to say that one's you.
You're saying that one's me?
Yes.
You are correct again. You're doing good, Larry.
I'm going to fucking hyperventilate.
Okay, fourth quote. I guess in the scheme of things, it's all part of God's plan, and alls we can do is just roll with it.
That's the movie. That's cheesy.
Oh man, I might be done. You're doing really good because we'll see what happens.
This is my strength. I know you incredibly well.
Okay, so fifth quote. They say God's a shepherd, and I guess I'm a lamb. But sometimes it feels like the devil's hungry for lamb chops.
Oh boy, I want to say that that's you so badly. That's you.
You're right again. I would have hung myself if that was a real quote.
It's...
Okay, quote number 6. Sometimes I feel like God took me all around the block just to get me next door. These are so good.
I'm gonna say that's the movie.
You're right again.
Oh my fucking god.
Lordy lord.
Oh, we both know I can't review a good movie. I have to hate or there's no show.
Okay, quote number 7.
Oh, there's 2 more? Fuck, I thought I was on 7.
Nope. I guess for God, maybe souls are his hustle, and he's trying to get every last one he can.
Oh, this is the first really hard one. That sounds like something you would say. However, that does sound like a suspicious Ja Rule being told about Christianity. I'm going to say that's the movie.
You are incorrect,
Damn
sir.
it!
I am so sorry.
I almost had the clean sweep.
You almost had a shutout. I was sweating.
Oh,
All right,
man.
we got one more. One more quote.
All right.
God's got a calling for everyone's life, but you got to answer the phone when it calls.
No, that's definitely
you
the
dig?
movie.
Yeah, and they said you dig. They did say it in the movie.
I didn't even hear that part. That is Christians say that line all the time. I've heard that from at least 2 pastors.
It's so bad. Okay.
So close to a clean sweep.
Okay, so you're not watching the original. You had to get it perfect.
That's fine. I mean, I can't. I have to hate, or I can't just talk about a movie I love.
At some point, we'll cross that bridge.
Yeah,
we have to see if Larry's capable of love.
Oh, well, it's like love. If you hold up a magnifying glass, the House of Cards falls apart. But it's like love if you don't look at it, if you squint.
I guess this is true. Okay, so a little
Local
personal
man dies
history.
alone, is mourned by none.
A tiny bit of personal history with this movie, although very little, to be honest. But it was filmed in San Jose, California, which is the city I actually lived and grew up in until I was 14. Mm-hmm. So I was really excited when I saw that, and I was looking for anything I might recognize, like any kind of landmarks. But San Jose is not exactly that kind of city, unfortunately. So while there wasn't anything specific I saw, but just like the establishing shots and background of like the mountains in the background looked eerily familiar.
So you didn't see like the burger shot where you fondled your first tit?
I did not fondle my first hit before I was 14.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a Casanova necessarily.
All right.
But like you live in a city that I will not name just in case anyone wants to murder you. But there is a certain mountain or hill at least that has some landmarks in and about it.
Yes.
That you would distinctly recognize were it in a movie, right?
100%.
Yep. So that's sort of this weird feeling for me. Like every time there's an establishing shot, I just have this like nostalgia of like every time my mom drove me to school, that mountain was in the background.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's honestly, I've lived in not the same town, but the same area my whole life, within like 40 minutes of one another of each place I've lived. So yeah, I imagine seeing that in a movie would be like, whoa, holy shit.
I think they. Well, again, I'm giving away your location.
I don't
but
really care. I don't care that much.
I'm pretty sure, I forget which movie, but an M. Night Shyamalan movie was filmed.
Yes,
yeah,
it was.
So.
Although it's really hard to tell.
Yeah.
I live in Reading, Pennsylvania. I don't fucking come kill me, rape me. I don't care. It's fine. I just all I ask is don't hurt my dog. I don't care what you do to me. You can have my stuff, my money. Just please let my dog live. Okay.
Could your dog do the podcast?
I mean, probably. It'd probably be about as funny as I am. No, yeah, and there's a famously a pagoda, like an Eastern style pagoda on a hill. And yeah, the M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong filmed the fucking terrible Avatar movie there. At least part of it.
Oh, that was the Avatar movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, because that's Eastern-ish.
Oh, right.
It's also terrible. Terrible movie.
Yeah, I never saw it.
I didn't either. I've never seen the show.
I was done after The Village.
Yeah. Hey. It's really like, it's very historic to this area. And Isaac lived here too. He no longer lives here. He lives in an undisclosed location. It's like the iconic thing of this town, because this town's a shitty drug hole. But the pagoda is famously the site of a lot of gang activity, and to Isaac and I, the murder of a coworker. So, kind of.
Wait, who was murdered there?
I don't. Oh my god, I don't remember his name. It was somebody from Exeter.
Really?
Yeah, I told you about it some time ago. It was a while.
Oh, but he didn't work with us for very long, right?
No,
he was like on the Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, no, wasn't he the guy who the dogs just shit in his basement all the time?
I don't remember. I really don't.
I'll feel better if I think of that.
You know better than I did, and even then. This is a weird conversation to have on this podcast. Let's move
That's
past
true. Okay, so we get some inspiring helicopter shots of the open ocean with golden sunlight. And it's, oh God, Jesus, fucking nice, happy music. Thank the Lord, prayers, sunsets, we love you, Jesus. And then it's followed up by random shots inside a prison. And we get a fucking voiceover from Ja Rule where you get a bunch of those stupid quotes from, like, what was it? I guess in the scheme of things, it's all part of God's plan, and all we can do is just roll with it. Fucking dumb bullshit, goddamn. Okay, so, guess who is an executive producer on this movie? You know him.
Is it a rapper?
No.
Oh, well,
It's God.
What?
God is credited as an executive producer.
What?
Yes.
No.
Yes, sir.
You're a fucking liar.
I am not lying. I promise you.
You're a fucking liar.
Watch the opening credits.
I want you to
executive
screen grab
producer
and tweet
God.
that shit. Because there's no fucking way.
There is a fucking way. And it is called I'm in Love with a Church Girl.
What the fuck? You have to fucking tweet that or put it on Facebook or something. By the way, I love the thank you for sharing the Darren Shan picture on Facebook.
Oh yeah, that picture. Oh my God.
Everyone needs to see that.
It is frightening. It is alarming.
They're not okay.
I know, they're dead now. They're dead and he's coming their corpses.
Oh, boy.
Allegedly.
Yeah, Darren Shan's lawyers have deep pockets, Isaac. Anyway, wow. Fucking Christ. So,
okay.
Executive producer God. So this has been, wow, you think he puts that on his actor credits? If I go to the Wikipedia page for God, is that his filmography?
Probably not. I don't think so.
Well, I'm going to add it.
Okay, so Ja Rule will be referred to as Ja Rule, even though his name in the movie, I'll just mention it quickly, is Miles Montenegro, which is a shitty name. Sounds like a shitty movie name. Someone even mentions, oh, that sounds like a name from a movie.
I feel like that's a reference. That name sounds familiar, and there's no fucking way I remember it from.
And it's the fucking the church girl, love interest, calls him Mr. Miles and Mr. Miles Montenegro all the time. And just adding, oh God, I hate it. So he's Ja Rule, and he will only be Ja Rule. So Ja Rule sets up a drug deal with some homies. Okay. And then Ja Rule drops the cash off at home and talks to his mom, who tries to convince him to come to church to get some of that good church pussy. As you do.
Well, now, okay, I normally I'd laugh and move on, but considering the context of this movie is I'm in love with a church girl, is she trying to set him up with a girl?
Yeah. Not with a specific girl, but she's an relatively older woman in her late 60s or 70s, and she's like pressuring him to settle down and have grandkids.
Okay, so she wants him to get that good daytime pussy. All right, got it.
Yeah, good church pussy. So then they watch a Sandals commercial on TV. Sandals, the Caribbean beach. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Not generic resort.
Oh wait, this is a movie. Wait, what?
Yep, specifically Sandals. And Mom mentions and discusses how much he's always wanted to go to Sandals. And Ja Rule takes a few big swigs out of a Fiji water bottle during this conversation. Product placement. Mr. Rule, you have outdone yourself.
Do you think God got a cut of those profits?
He fucking better have the executive produce this shit.
Sandals. Oh, and you love pretentious water, don't you?
I hate it. Spend $4 on water. It costs 2 cents from your tap. As long as you're not in Flint, Michigan. And even if you're in Flint, don't get Fiji water. Fucking bullshit. It's the biggest racket of all time.
He's been going on about this for years.
Selling water to human beings should be a crime against nature. Selling water. You can go... That'd be like selling... Well, okay, there are places that sell oxygen. There's oxygen bars. What the fuck is wrong with this species?
Oh, it all went wrong after the Big Bang.
Yeah, downhill from there.
You went on about this in a Sheetz like 5 years ago, and I bought a big bottle of Voss water, a big tall bottle.
Wasting your fucking money.
I still have that bottle. I use it to keep my quarters for laundry.
And you'd still have $3.99 plus tax more if you didn't do that in the first place.
Every time I use that, I think about this rant. Oh, so Ja Rule got into bed with Fiji.
And sandals.
God. So he just is a money-grubbing piece of shit then.
Yeah, his music career kind of stopped in the mid-2000s.
Did he have like a rap hit?
Yeah, I forget what songs, but he had a beef with 50 Cent at some point, and someone accused him of shooting Proof, who was like Eminem's homie from D12. So he's involved in all the fucking shit. It's all stupid. He was B-list rap. I'm sure it's like Mandy Moore.
Okay.
Like Eminem, 50 Cent, Jay-Z. That's Britney Spears, Aguilera. Mandy Moore and Ja Rule are the fucking under the radar. No one gives a fuck about them. They're in shitty rom-coms now because they need to fucking pay for their fucking McMansions.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Because it's funny you say he had a feud with 50 Cent because I was just asking because I just listened to a different podcast whose dick we suck all the time. Last podcast on the left. They were talking about Biggie and Tupac. So I looked at a bunch of rap history, and I asked another friend whose dick I suck all the time, not in real life, Josh, who we talked about last episode. I was asking him, he's a big rap fan. I asked him about 50 Cent because I'm like, I haven't heard about him in like 6 years. And he said, yeah, he's just a successful businessman. He doesn't need to do anything else because he has money and fame and success. Right. And then on the other hand, you got Ja Rule, who's fucking pandering to Fiji for 20 delicious Fiji dollars.
I really want to know how much money he made, or how many cases of Fiji they sent him.
Yeah. What if that was the deal? What if they only paid in Fiji?
I know. I could see that happen.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we cut to the DEA headquarters, and
I just loved it.
Fuck you,
I'm sure the Ja Rule file is so thick at the DEA headquarters.
Fuck you. Fuck you and your beard hole, Larry.
It's funny because there's several of those.
Okay, so you might recognize a couple of these names. Michael Madsen and Stephen Baldwin
okay.
are the agents trying to bust Ja Rule.
Boy, so a lot of careers on hard times in this movie, eh?
Yeah, Michael Madsen gets probably 80 seconds of screen time, and Stephen Baldwin is very awkwardly just pops into the movie for like 8 seconds at a time, over and over and over again, but never does anything. It's really weird. So yeah, they're trying to bust Ja Rule, and they're going on and on. They're talking to the chief, which I don't think the DEA has a chief, but whatever. I think it's a director when it's the DEA. It's not a chief.
I'm trying to remember I get my Baldwins confused. Was Stephen Baldwin not in the Flintstones one too? Steve
Baldwin was Unusual Suspects.
No, I know that, but wasn't he in the Flintstones movie you reviewed?
Yes.
Okay, so another crossover. I love when these people start to float in and out of these movies.
It happens a lot. It's scary. So the chief of the DA says, is arguing with them. We don't have the budget. You're working around the clock. And Michael Madsen, Steve Baldwin are like, he wears more on his wrist than we make in a month. And one of his cars is worth 12 of our cars. But what? What the fuck are you talking about? God, okay. All right. So we got to blow through this hot and fast because I've taken half an hour already. And
that sounds like one of my reviews.
Oh, God, this fucking scene. Ja Rule's out driving. He's got some rap music playing. Across the intersection, he sees a girl driving a silver convertible. And the music transitions to cheesy rom-com girl introduction music, which turns out to be the whole theme for this fucking movie. Every time there's a romantic moment. And he, like, fucking nuts over her, and her hair's blowing in the wind, and she looks all pretty. So, if you see a girl cross an intersection that looks pretty, you start nutting over her. What do you do, Larry?
You, I guess you go, a rational person would go say hello. Go up to her and say, so, hot girl I'm nutting over. I've been thinking. I don't know. I clearly don't know anything because I'm alone.
Well, if you Introductory Guide to Romance by Mr. Rule would be start a high-speed car chase after her.
Oh, sorry, what?
Yes, you pursue her at 60 miles an hour through downtown San Jose.
Oh. Okay.
While the music transitions to badass chase music. And then, you know, he's zigging in and out of traffic and all this stupid shit. Cars are pulling out in front of him.
And is she, like, fear crying because a strange man is chasing her?
No, you just never see her again.
What?
You just see him driving very quickly, and it's implied it's in pursuit of her. But it doesn't make sense. Eventually, a cop pulls him over, and he's like, "Oh man, my life sucks, cop." And the cop's just fucking fat little white guy with a mustache.
Oh, the worst kind.
He just pulls his sunglasses down. He's like, "You know why I pulled you over, bud?" And that's it. It stops. That's the end of the scene. Pulls him over, gives him the cop treatment. That's it. So now we get another scene at the DEA where Steve Baldwin gives a typical presentation to a group of cops with a PowerPoint of slides and shit, showing the various goons in Ja Rule's crew. I can't speak. Ja Rule's crew.
That's a hard. Say that 5 times fast, kid.
Ja Rule's crew. Ja Rule's crew. So, even though the chief just told them to shut down the case, now they're involving like 20 agents in a presentation about the case. This doesn't make any sense. No. There's no consistency to any of the storytelling. It's just throwing cliche scene over and over again.
Great.
So Ja Rule goes to the party of like a retired drug dealer associate who we find out there's some shitty fucking dialogue has turned all Christian to save his family. Because his wife was all pissy because he was popping off some homies or whatever. Anyway, so Ja Rule meets Church Girl, who'll be known as Church Girl from out.
Oh, and yeah, she doesn't get name dropped in the fucking title.
They hit it off, and there's no real chemistry. It's all just sort of awkward and forced. Like, one of my guilty pleasure rom-coms is Adam Sandler movie The Wedding Singer with Drew Barrymore.
I've never seen it.
It's, if you have to see it, I'd sit through it. I know it's one of my guilty pleasures for sure. It's not a great movie, but I think it's very fun. But my point is, they definitely have some cute, believable, this would make you kind of start falling in love with a person if you have this kind of flirting interaction. Because, you know, just the way it plays off. It's believable. None of this stuff in this movie is believable. It's just crammed down your throat.
Huh.
Okay. But Church Girl likes Ja Rule. Ja Rule likes Church Girl. So she shows up at his house the next day. His house is very extravagant and expensive because he's a drug kingpin and a millionaire. And Steve Baldwin pops up for 8 seconds in a van taking surveillance videos and muttering to himself, "Not only does he get all the money, he gets the pretty girl too."
I believe the proper term is a church pussy. I believe that's how it was referred to earlier.
You can refer to it however you want. So, Church Girl's overwhelmed at his giant house. He's like, "How many bedrooms are there?" "Oh, there's 8 bedrooms, and no one lives with you?" And then he gets all like demure, and he's like, "Well, buy the house, and then maybe I could find someone to live in it with me." And then he like gives her a look, and they're like, "Oh, cute."
Gross.
Fucking stupid. It's not romantic. It's not flirty. It's dumb.
Oh man.
So, Church Girl works at a faith-based product store in the mall.
So, the equivalent of Ned Flanders' left-handed store.
Yes. But it looks weirdly like Hot Topic. Because I imagine Hot Topic has all gone out of business at this point.
Nope.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
I haven't been in a mall. I'm a sad old man. I sit on my lawn and tell people to run away.
Oh, I hate Hot Topic.
I had a Hot Topic phase. I was in there for about 3 years.
Oh, no, I never had that phase. Thank the fuck.
You lucky man, you.
Yeah, not my scene.
But it looks like a refurbished Christian Hot Topic. It's dumb. And a church girl is at the counter and like, oh my god, my boyfriend just came into the store. And the other girl's like, oh, he's so hot, you should go talk to him. So
I just like, what kind of product? Okay, because there's like a bookstore near me. It's called the Joy Bookstore. They love that word. It's like a Christian bookstore my mother used to take me into when she was hardcore. What kind of shit, besides Bibles and other fucking faith help books, do you buy in a church product store? Like holy oil wafers?
No, it's like a Hot Topic where it's mostly like T-shirts and CDs and maybe like a couple of like random books or things like that, or board games, coffee mugs, I don't know, fucking lanyards.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be ill.
Yep. So they flirt for a little while, then she hooks him up with some dope-ass Christian hip-hop CDs, and he's all like, this guy looks like a real rapper. And she's like, well, he is a real rapper, he just raps about Jesus. And he's like, I never thought about it like that. Fucking goddamn it.
It's so bad.
It's really bad. It's a very bad movie.
Oh my god.
So Ja Rule goes to meet church girl's family, knocks on the front door, and he interacts with a couple of bratty sisters. One of them is like, oh my god, is someone gonna answer the doorbell? And then she gets up and answers it, and anyway, I can't. So dad comes out, and dad's reasonably friendly, and then mom comes out, and she's really standoffish, and just says, so you're Miles? Which is his fucking name. Okay. She says, you're Ja Rule. And then he puts his hand out to shake her hand, and she refuses his handshake. And then immediately asks, what church do you go to? Fucking bitch!
Oh my god.
I'm
People
indignant.
Like that exist.
I'm on Ja Rule's side on this one. I don't want to say that, but I am.
I mean, he's only a thief. It's not like he doesn't have any Cosby allegations, does he?
Yeah, oh, this is true. He does not go down the rape slide.
Careful.
Okay, so that's basically it then. And then so Ja Rule and Church Girl go to the club, and he introduces her to all his friends, which are actually his drug partners. And then Jerry Rice just shows up and gets a random cameo. And it's played off as like, I know. It's played off as like, oh, Ja Rule is, he's such a legit businessman and knows everyone in town that of course he's friends with Jerry Rice.
Oh, so he's in as Jerry Rice.
He plays Jerry Rice.
He's
Jerry
not playing
Rice
like grizzled old street rapper.
No. It's like Jerry Rice says hi to Ja Rule in the club, and Church Girl is like, oh my god, you're Jerry Rice, my dad's gonna be so excited I met you.
Okay. Let's step back for a second. Now, I am not a huge fan of football. I watch it. I watch maybe 2 games a season. I'm a Packers fan. I have base level knowledge. I know who the fuck Jerry Rice is.
Yes.
He's one of the best wide receivers to ever play the game, but he's also very old.
Yeah. Oh, he looks fairly good.
He's not.
He might be 60,
not been
but
relevant in a long time.
Yes. No. He is, I think, I was maybe a toddler while he was finishing his career.
I don't know about that. I think he came back and played for the Raiders for a while, and I know that.
I don't think he's played at football in this millennium. Can we say that?
Oh no, he definitely played in the 2000s.
Really?
He came back and was an Oakland Raider for a bit.
Now I gotta look it up.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Keep going. I apologize.
No, I gotta look it up because I don't trust you because you'll lie to me.
I will lie to you. In 2002, he caught 92 passes for 1,211 yards and 7 touchdowns.
He played on the Broncos in 2005. Oh, well. off-season practice squad member only. Okay. But still.
Yeah, so, okay. But wow, this got way off fucking track.
Welcome to the Jerry Rice Corner, where we discuss Jerry Rice's history.
Well, Rice Watch 2018. He's here in Jerry Rice Corner. While we respect and love the man, he's not been relevant for quite some time.
No, he is not.
I feel like he must be a Christian, and that I assume, because why the fuck else? Or did...
I guess.
That, or maybe Ja Rule just actually knows him?
That's possible. Anyway, okay, so Ja Rule's boys are hanging out with him and Church Girl.
Boys with a Z, I assume.
Boys in the hood.
Okay.
And they casually mention him doing gangster shit, like firing a gun at the window of a car. And he pulls the boys aside and is like, I gotta smooth these motherfuckers out, because I want to get up in that church girl pussy, and she don't need to know about me firing no gun sideways, right?
Is that... Okay, minus the church pussy thing. Is that what he says?
No. Word for word, no, but the sentiment is very much the same.
We're going to the worst kind of hell. Oh, man.
And Ja Rule will be looking down on us.
From heaven with Jerry Rice.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be a weird afterlife.
And at least 2 Baldwins.
Okay, so while the guys are away and Ja Rule's smoothing them motherfuckers out, the girls ask Church Girl, hey, does Ja Rule have a giant dick like all the rumors say he does? And Church Girl gets all demure, and she's like, I wouldn't really know, because, we haven't had sex yet, because I'm a good, proper girl. And all the girls act shocked, because wow, I can't talk. All the girls act shocked, because Ja Rule usually tears that pussy up like a paper shredder. So, naturally, Church Girl's a little put off, because apparently he's a gun-firing gangster who rips up pussy like crazy.
Yeah.
So that's
the dream.
She's seeing a new side of him. Meanwhile, Church Girl's mom sits up in bed reading, and Larry, what book do you think she might be reading?
It's either the Bible or written by Joel Osteen.
It would be the Bible, yes. And she's
my third choice was the Torah.
She's just a Jew, yeah. No, she's reading the Bible, sitting up worrying about her daughter, and the dad is like turning over, frustrated, like, can you turn the light out and go the fuck to sleep, because your daughter's like 30. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You haven't touched me in 15 years?
Basically. So we cut to a diner, and Ja Rule and Church Girl are hanging out, and he comes clean about his gangster lifestyle, but, like, puts it all in the past. So says, yeah, I've done some things I'm not proud of, but I'm willing to change, and you're pretty cool, Church Girl. And then they both say they're falling in love with each other, and they kiss. And then, I guess this is a Bible quote. There's another quote I looked up later, but I couldn't be bothered to look this one up. But apparently, some Bible thing that they have to be equally yoked. And he makes egg yolk joke, of course, but it's yoked, Y-O-K-E.
Yeah,
like
the Bible's big about
oxen.
yokes with ox. Yeah, because that was Lamborghinis of our day.
Yeah, it's almost like a book that's 2,000 years old isn't fucking relevant to anyone anymore, but whatever.
Yeah. I like the sex slave parts, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Well, especially when God orders the Jews to take sex slaves. Oh, jeez. Pardon me.
Don't you dare rape these angels. Please rape my daughters.
Yes. What the fuck? Oh, we're gonna have no listeners.
No, yeah. We're bad people. So yeah, she says they have to be equally yoked in the relationship. They have to feel the same about each other and God, and put Jesus in the center of their relationship.
Now, Isaac, I've been wondering about your marriage. I feel like it's gonna fail.
Yeah, well,
because
that's the thing.
Jesus isn't at the center.
I have put Jesus at the center of my relationship, but the missus is not equally yoked. So, I don't know if we can go on until Jesus is firmly at the center of our relationship.
You know, I know how to solve this problem. You gotta scramble that bitch.
I have to scramble that bitch, Larry. That's...
Look at me, Mom, Ja Rule. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. I'm getting very dirty looks from the missus.
Sorry, Kate.
She's in the room.
Oh, gee.
I've made a bad decision in my life. Well, okay. One of many.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get a bunch of... Just throughout the movie, anytime we're transitioning, there's just inspiring cut shots of sunsets and, like, mountains in the background with, like, grain blowing gently in the wind. And
a lot of grain in fucking whatever, California.
Yeah, and just fucking shots of yoked oxes just hauling carts.
No.
No, we don't go that far.
Oh, man. Is there any talk about mustard seeds? Because they're big on that, too.
It turns out Ja Rule's legitimate business is as a concert organizer. And that's how he launders his fucking drug money, whatever. It's never really established. But anyway, he's organizing a concert, and he brings Church Girl with him. And they're together, then she's not there. We see a montage of him with his drug homies, like, counting a bunch of money, and then walking through a lobby all slow motion with, like, cigar smoke around them, looking all dope and shit. Then we go back to the hotel room, where Ja Rule and Church Girl are, and guess what? On the table in front of the couch, there's a few Fiji water bottles. More product placement.
Drink Fiji. It's what God would want.
And then Ja Rule's all like, oh yeah, we should go to bed, baby. And Church Girl's like, you can go to bed on the couch. I'm sleeping on the king-size bed. Which, I mean, okay, fine. She's not comfortable progressing sexually with him in the relationship. That's perfectly valid. Nothing wrong with that. I imagine he paid for the fucking hotel room, so she should offer to sleep on the couch. Just
that too, and even if they're not, they don't want to get sexual, fine, but they're in at least the beginning trappings of a relationship. Yes, at least.
Well, that's a thing.
Sleep in the same fucking bed with your clothes on.
Yeah, you are adults. Yeah. They are in their 30s, both of them. You could sleep in a bed without fucking. I have done it at least once.
I've done it. I've slept in beds with dudes.
That was a weird few weekends that we shared, Larry.
Have we slept in a bed together? I feel like we've fallen asleep on a couch together.
No, we were never in a bed together, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, and now you're married, so I'll look off. There'll be a shot of me in the movie of our lives, like on a hill looking wistfully at the sunset.
Like the Indian trash commercial, just one tear coming out of your eye?
Yeah, that too. Sure.
Sorry. Native American trash commercial.
There we go. Thank you for clarifying.
He wasn't actually, he was Italian. Anyway, okay.
He was. That's right.
Okay, so, God, just so many stupid little scenes that don't add anything to this. Just cue up, like, dumb fucking rom-com drama that never goes anywhere. So, Ja Rule and Church Girl are out shopping and bump into one of his ex-girlfriends. And she just says, like, oh, hey, hi, how's it going? Just kind of, whatever. And then Church Girl gets all defensive and is really pissed off. And then they go back to the car together. And she's like, did you sleep with her?
Oh, my God.
I know. And he just looks at her like, yeah, in the life I had before you. Because I met you in my mid to late 30s.
Boy, I'm getting mad.
Yep, you should be.
What was the line from Love, Wedding, Marriage? I don't like to think that I wasn't your first choice. It spoils the fantasy or some shit.
Yeah. It's almost like romantic comedies portray actual romantic relationships very unhealthily.
Here we go again. I'm getting mad.
Okay, so Ja Rule and Church Girl are in a car and they're driving somewhere with the drug homies who were in another car in front of Ja Rule. I don't really know. I wasn't paying a lot of attention. I hate this movie. But some drama happens. Some other guys come up and start threatening Ja Rule's homies. So he pulls a gun out of his glove compartment and chases them away. All the while Church Girl is upset and crying because she fears for her life and Ja Rule's life, whatever. So we cut back to the hotel room. And Ja Rule's trying to explain how he's got to have his homies back, and he's... I don't know. So why do you have a gun? Because I'm a concert promoter. I have a briefcase full of money, because concert promoters have briefcases full of money.
Well, I mean,
so
obviously.
She starts crying and then prays for him.
Ah, boo!
Okay, so church girl families then host a party for Ja Rule. Like, this isn't enough to make church girl run away. Like, being involved in almost a shootout. She's still fine with it. All good. Whatever. So her super religious family hosts a birthday party for Ja Rule. And what do you think his birthday present is, Larry?
It's a Bible or a book
written by
Joel Osteen.
It's a Bible. It's a Bible with his name on the cover. And why would his name be on the cover? I don't get that.
That seems wrong.
It's another... just slipping...
No, I don't...
They really... Whoever wrote this really liked the name Miles Montenegro. They were proud of that. Because it's on the cover in gold lettering.
Doesn't that seem incorrect?
I know, like, okay, maybe, like, an inscription on the first page or something. This Bible is property of... Like, I have my grandma's Bible that has that shit in it. And, yeah, that's totally normal. But it's not on the cover.
That's... Yeah, I don't know if this is, like, a thing people would care about, but that seems wrong. And I'm not religious, and that seems like a whoa. Like, I really should do that.
I hope not. Because that seems weird.
Yeah. You think it's actually a real Bible, or it's just like a fucking newspaper they cut out and slapped the thing around? I guess getting a real Bible is just easier. That Bible exists, Isaac, and if it ever goes on eBay, guess what your Christmas present's going to be?
Oh, right, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is all apparently based on a true story.
No, it's fucking not.
That's yeah, it is.
No. It's executive produced by fucking God. There's no true story involved. You're a fucking
Well, if you think about it, God executive produces everything? So...
I'm gonna slit your fucking throat.
Okay, so, church girl's mom continues to be a bitch. And they give him the Bible, and he's like, oh, thanks for the Bible, that's cool. She says, I just want you to know that every night we pray for all of our girls to meet and marry godly men. Are you a godly man? And then there's a dramatic pause. And Ja Rule says, I don't know. All thug like, I don't know. Maybe not. But I'm still gonna fuck your daughter. Yeah.
So church girl, I was thinking.
Okay, so Ja Rule and church girl are like in the kitchen, and she says, oh yeah, so after we go to church tomorrow, we could run some errands or whatever. And Ja Rule says, I'm too busy to go to church. I got some gangsta shit to do. And church girl gets all pissy and asks what the problem is. And Ja Rule hems and haws, and then eventually gets all upset and yells, God don't want somebody like me in his church. And then she's like, oh, that's so sweet. You don't understand. You don't understand God at all, you fucking nitwit. God wants everyone. He devours souls. He wants your soul.
Oh dear, it's scary because it's
pretty accurate. So they go to a fancy ass mega church.
Oh boy, have you ever been to one of those?
No, I feel like I have. You really?
Times. Oh. Yeah, there's a church, I don't know if you recall, there was a church around here, Glad Tidings, if you remember that. Enormous, 2 gigantic screens. They're that, I can't remember. They're that branch of Christianity that doesn't believe in global warming. I want to say Episcopalians, but I don't think that's right. Anyway.
Seventh-day global warmingists?
No. No, I've been to a Seventh-day Adventist church service, too. That one was weird.
You've been to a lot of churches.
I have been to a lot of churches. But there was a time period where my mother was crazy religious. Right. I've been to a lot of churches, but I've been to mega churches. It's weird. It's a weird experience. It's like, it's alien. It's like being part of an alien congregation. Because it's not like a regular church. It still feels like, I'll say intimate, and you can go ahead and giggle, but it's like still, there's like a small enough group of people that it feels like, yeah, you know what, this is 85% old people who have been doing this since they were 15, and, you know, it's not really a big deal to them for the most part. Like, it's the thing you say when somebody's sick. And then you go to, like, the mega church that's full of, like, 30-year-olds that are super into it. And again, I'm not trying to step on toes. Whatever you believe in is fine. It's just very much not my scene. And it's really alien to me and weird to me. So,
although, have you ever been to like a full-on like singing in the pews, jumping up and dancing black church?
No.
I have been in Philadelphia, and it was fucking wonderful. That was sounds at the amazing. That was at the height of my angry atheism, where I just wanted to yell at people for believing. Yeah. And one thing led to another. I ended up in that church, and I was like, "This is fucking awesome."
That sounds awesome. And like I was in a Hispanic church service in the city near where I live. That was very, very small and very poor. And it was with a coworker of my grandmother. She had asked us to come. I don't remember the reason. It was a very long time ago. And but like it was kind of. First of all, it was 4 hours, which that's too much church for even the most devout of people.
90 minutes maximum.
But like everyone there, and it may have been like 16 to 20 people besides us, super hardcore into it. Not like jumping up and down, but like dancing, and everybody had tambourines and was going nuts. So it's fascinating, like the different things, the way people go into like that.
This is very true.
The mega church it feels so like. It's like, oh, this shit's for real. Like, you're not, this is not like Easter, Christmas, sick people Christians. This is like, oh man, this is the lion's den, baby.
Yeah, it'll hit you over the head with it pretty hard, for sure.
Yeah.
Alright, so we do go to this fancy-ass mega church, and church girl's bitch of a mother finally shakes Ja Rule's hand, but looks down her snobby fucking nose at him while doing it. God, I hate her. She's a nasty woman.
Thank you, Donald Trump.
It applies here. It does.
Yeah, no, I know.
Hillary Clinton is many things. She's not a nasty woman. But this mother is... Okay. But the pastor of the church is a straight-up G. He's got a white...
Of course. You sure he's not played by Jerry Rice? Because nothing will make me happier.
No, O.J. Simpson. No.
Even better.
No, he's some, I don't know, 35-year-old Hispanic guy. But he's got a white flat brim Yankees hat, and he's got like a modest amount of pimp bling. Like, not too much, but enough.
A Christian.
Yeah, so the church service involves a fuck ton of music. And in fact, of what we see, it's only music. We don't even see a snippet of sermon from the pastor. Like, we'd get a couple of lines of the sermon. Anyway, okay. So Ja Rule gets the collection plate, and because he's a mad drug-dealing gangster, he pulls out his giant billfold and drops a few Benjamins in the plate, and Church Girl looks at him like, damn, what's that about? And he was like, what, isn't that enough? And she's like, oh, you don't know anything.
I hate her.
Okay, so... Oh, God, this fucking movie. Ja Rule and Church Girl are at dinner with Ja Rule's parents now. Remember, Ja Rule's mom really wants to go to Sandals. They like drinking Fiji water. This is the first time we meet Ja Rule's dad.
They like wearing Nike pumps, eating Quaker Oats.
Drinking a lot of Pepsi.
Eating a lot of goldfish, the snack that smiles back trademark.
Mr. and Mrs. Rule are thrilled that Church Girl got their dick ass...
Honey, my father is Mr. Rule. Call me Ja.
They are thrilled that Church Girl got their dick ass heathen of a son to go to church. So they're just fawning over Church Girl.
Of course.
And we see Stephen Baldwin still lurking away in the surveillance van.
I forgot about him.
I know. And, okay, so his surveillance shot is of a car in an alley. The camera's got to be at least 20 feet away. The doors of the car are closed, but somehow he has perfect audio of what's going on in the car, and it's two of Ja Rule's drug buddies talking about the deal. Like, if he didn't wire one of them, which is never established, or bug the car beforehand, which is never established, although if you took 5 seconds, you could have easily done that, but just magically perfect audio.
The best. Best.
Okay, so Ja Rule now brings up the problem of theodicy, which is the problem of the existence of evil when there's an all-powerful and all-loving God.
Oh, I smell an axe to grind.
It's a very legitimate theological question.
Oh, definitely.
One there's not a good answer to. Or it's debatable, for sure, at the very least. He also mentions the fact that the faith of Islam recognizes Jesus as a prophet, and there are historical and theological discrepancies between both religions. And Church Girl has no fucking answers. And the movie never has any fucking answers. Why would you bring up those things without answers? The G pastor doesn't have answers. No, we can just gloss over it all with one little word: faith. That's all you need. Faith.
That's always the answer. That's not...
Yep.
That's
all you need, Larry.
Circumvent logic. You can't.
Yep. As long as you have faith, you can murder your son because the voices in your head told you to.
Your faith is no stronger than the faith of someone who believes in something equally ridiculous. Come on. Believe in what you want, but just be able to... Oh.
Question. Yes. If God appears to be, I'll question my atheism. Until then, we'll see. But now it is Christmas time.
Chris Tan, his drug buddy. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Christ is in a tanning bed. It's Christmas time at the Rule household, and Ja Rule gives his parents a vacation to sandals.
Oh, they established it earlier. It's a callback.
Yep. And we watch his mom leaf through a sandals brochure where we see some pictures and the logo, the sandals font, and we hear her say the name sandals 3 times within 10 seconds.
Wow. How much did they pay?
It can't be much for this movie.
Is Sandals a Christian resort? Because
I don't think so. I feel like Ja Rule just wanted to go on vacation and wanted some bottled water, and that's the only reason he made this movie.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
So we cut to Ja Rule at home in his giant mansion that he lives alone in, and he's studying his Bible, but his phone keeps getting blown up by hoes he used to fuck. And finally, there's something I can relate to.
How is Kate doing? She's still in the room?
She's very angry. I think she's emailing a divorce lawyer. So now we cut. So yeah, Ja Rule's got a fucking hot bone.
I just got a text message from an unlabeled number that says, "Help me kill Isaac."
Are you a divorce lawyer, Larry?
Must be a different Isaac. You shouldn't worry about it.
Are you Saul Goodman on like the flip side?
Look, I just want to let you know that I can perform marriages in 3 different religions in any state in this great union.
The frightening thing is he's not lying.
Just wait for the divorces.
So, we cut to Ja Rule, who's got a hot nut now and just is all bonerific for his exes, whatever. So he's trying to get it in Church Girl. So his path to do that is through the Bible, of course, not manipulative at all in any way. So he reads a sexy passage from the Song of Solomon. And I was trying to look this up. My, Bible knowledge and research only goes so far, but I'm willing to say 95% confident they didn't. He reads like an extended quote, like it takes about 30 seconds. And the main line is, "Your breasts are like 2 fawns," which is probably the most famous line from that.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
There's a bunch of other lines, and like, I'll insert my key in the latch, and something about my robe is off, do I need to put it on again, all kinds of stuff.
What is he, fucking 14? This is what 12-year-old Larry did.
You jerked off to the Bible?
No, but I mean, this would be the kind of thing I'd be interested in. I was jerking off to National Geographic.
But so I was looking up the Song of Solomon because I wanted to find the exact passage that it was from and maybe like pull some context from it, just sort of out of curiosity. But I'm 95% sure, unless my research has betrayed me, that they just went to the Song of Solomon and grabbed random sexy lines and stuck them all together and made it seem like he was just reading straight from the Bible, but just all the juicy bits. But if it was a parody of a Christian movie, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. But this is sincerely supposed to be a faith-based film.
So
God is the executive producer.
Jesus Christ. Let me make sure I understand this here. Because I'm not trying to do a bit. I just want to make sure I get it. He's reading... assuming... Let's take that out of the equation for just a second. And assume it is all one giant quote. And he's reading it aloud, and it's supposed to be sexy.
Yes.
And this is to imply that ultimately, should he become a Christian, he can fuck church girl and do all this sexy stuff.
No, I think he's doing it...
Or is he just being childish, like, contextually?
It's his way to try to convince her that they should fuck right now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Because all his ex-girlfriends were just calling him, and he was thinking about Bone Town. And then she's not putting out, because she wants to wait till marriage. Again, whatever. Not personal thing. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But he wants to bone, so he's trying to convince her via the Bible, which he's not really all that sold on anyway. So again, weirdly manipulative.
So he Googled, Bible, help me. He asked Jeeves.
Well,
Jeeves, give me a Bible verse. Alexa, give me a Bible verse to help me fuck this church pussy.
I'd rather not answer that.
No, my actual Alexa answered and said you'd rather not answer it, because she's a lady.
Oh, God. But,
wow. Because, what the fuck?
But the whole thing backfires because she just immediately says, well, yeah, I mean, the Bible says as long as you're married, you're allowed to enjoy your spouse sexually. But we're not married, so keep your dick in your pants, you son of a bitch.
Oh, boy.
So he gets up and takes a shower, and then he goes out clubbing with his boys.
So
and I'll have
jerked
to...
off in the shower.
They don't show it, but it's implied.
Well, sometimes you don't have to. Sometimes a man just knows.
And his one homie, and I gotta send you a screenshot.
Oh, good.
And in fact, I should text it to you right now.
Oh,
probably
please.
Be the best way.
Please do.
He looks astonishingly like a professional wrestler. And I'm just gonna stop there.
Oh, God.
And then send you the picture and see if you can name him. And this is, I took this picture from a photo of my TV screen. So it is very poor quality.
Can't wait.
But if you don't guess which wrestler this is, we're not friends anymore. And the podcast is over.
Okay. Please, a brief aside for Wrestling Corner.
Sorry, you cut out for a sec. Brief aside for
wrestling? A brief aside for Wrestling Corner.
Oh, right, yeah. I did send it. Did it come in yet?
Not yet.
Goddamn technology. Okay, I'll continue and then let me know. So he's clubbing with his boys, and they're telling him, oh, you should let loose, have a few drinks, and they introduce him to some girls, whatever. Church girl goes out looking for Ja Rule. I don't know why she's looking for him. Like, he just got up from his own house, took a shower, and went to the club. Like, why is she looking for... Like, what? Okay.
She's got nothing better to do. She's already read the fucking Bible.
Then she stumbles in on a room of the club and sees Ja Rule sitting on a couch with a hot-ass hoe who's getting a little touchy-feely, like all their clothes are still on, and they're just kind of sitting there, but she's like rubbing his cheek. So yeah, it's kind of intimate, but it's not like she's sitting on his lap and grinding or anything. Mm-hmm. So Church Girl sees this and just runs away immediately. Ja Rule does not see Church Girl see this. But a couple seconds later, he, of his own accord, just says to the hoe on his arm, no, I'm sorry, I can't do this, and gets up and leaves. So, okay, he's been tempted, he's got his urges, whatever,
He's like Christ in the desert. What's his other two trials?
But supposedly he's a good guy, and though he is tempted, and though he maybe gets to the precipice of breaking his trust with his girlfriend, turns around and says, no, I can't go through with this. Then we cut to Church Girl, who does not know that Ja Rule has extricated himself from the situation without cheating on her. She's in her car, and she says, why, Ja Rule? Why? God help me! God help me! And
that's
instantly,
been said by so many pregnant teenagers. Allegedly. Allegedly.
Larry, you son of a bitch.
Also, the picture came in. It's fucking Triple H.
So you cut out again. Who is it?
It's Triple H.
Yeah.
He's
It's
in this
uncannily
fucking
Triple H. It's so weird.
Big stupid nose, his sloping forehead. Yeah, that's him.
It's the forehead wrinkles. They're so deep you could hide a quarter in there.
Jesus Christ. What the hell?
But yeah, so as soon as she said, "Why God rule? Why?" or "Why Ja Rule? Why God help me?" it instantly starts pouring rain. As soon as she says that.
Oh, of course. Of course.
So now the movie's accelerating. We got to Ja Rule at home. He gets a call from his dad, and his mom is sick, dying, whatever. Ja Rule rushes to the
malaria
hospital.
at Sandals.
No, seriously. Ja Rule rushes to the hospital where his mom is on her fucking deathbed, and what does she say? "I'm sorry, I ruined the vacation to Sandals." Because she can't go now because she's dying, and all she thinks about is Sandals.
You fucking... Wow.
So even though, as we left it, Church Girl just saw Ja Rule getting his freak on with some hoe up in the club, she shows up at the hospital trying to comfort him. He apologizes and says nothing happened that night, but he doesn't know that she saw him because they've never talked about it.
Shitty writing.
Oh God. So, and yeah, whatever. I don't know. They get past that. They emotionally progress past that. I don't know. Jesus.
Oh, by never actually confronting it? That's the best way to get past it.
Mrs. Rule on her deathbed whimpers about Sandals, tells Church Girl that God knew the only way into her shitty son's heart is through a beautiful, godly woman, and she begs her not to give up on him.
Yeah, that's right. If she was fucking ugly, God was like, nope, not this one.
Right.
Kick that fucking shud to the curb. God damn it, I hate when they do that shit.
So, Mrs. Rule holds her impending death over Ja Rule's head, saying she needs him to keep seeking the Lord and marry Church Girl and fuck her full of babies.
Oh, good. My grandpa did something similar, with not related to fucking and babies, but he did something similar on his deathbed.
Yeah, why do old people do that?
I don't know. I ask no one of anything now, and when I'm dying, I will ask for even less.
When I'm old, it'll be asking someone to pull the plug.
Throw me in the fucking trash.
Right. So we cut to Mrs. Rule flatlining, and everyone crying, and fuck this movie.
She actually dies.
Movie. Oh yeah, she's dead. Dead as a girl now. And she gets little angel wings and a halo, and she floats up out of the hotel room. No, okay, she doesn't. It's not that bad. Not quite that bad. Oh, God. But you believed me for a second.
I did.
So we're at the funeral. It's raining. Everyone's got black umbrellas. So we got a slow pan across everyone's crying face.
Every movie funeral has rain. You know what? Every funeral I've been to has been raining.
Guess who's at the funeral?
Is it Jerry Rice?
No. Across the street, in the surveillance van, is Stephen Baldwin.
Is he in black at least?
No, he's dressed up like normal.
I gotta call you, Ja, but I am here to show respect.
So, and he's got some younger partner that's not, like, popped up for a hot second before, but it's never been established. And they start chit-chatting, and Stephen Baldwin mentions he's a religious man. He goes to church every Sunday with his wife and kids. And, do maybe see a glimmer of sympathy for Ja Rule because his mom died, so maybe he's not a drug dealer, but they know he's a drug dealer.
Does not change whether or not you deal drugs.
I know. Okay, so Church Girl's bitch of a mother comes over to Ja Rule, who's sitting on the curb, and gives him the whole tragedy is a part of God's plan speech. Like, God specifically killed your mother now for a reason. It's okay.
Don't do that, people. Don't. It's not. No one wants to hear that. I guess other believers want to hear that, but it's... If you are religious, don't... When someone dies, I know you want... If you want to make them feel better and they're not religious, like, don't ever tell me that they're in heaven or something like that. Because I just don't... Yep. It's not... It's just because when you're, like, close... When you're grieving because someone close to you has died, you're gonna lash out at that. It's just gonna be a thing you do. Yeah. Just don't do it. It's better for everyone.
really,
if you mean well, that's fine, but you cannot do it in that moment. You cannot.
The best response, religious or not, no matter what your personal faith is or whoever your comforting's personal faith is just to celebrate the life that was lost and what they've meant to you and what they've meant to that person.
Yes.
So talk about the jokes they used to tell or just all the wonderful things about them, because then no matter what someone's personal faith is, that's a value. Because, I treasure this wonderful life that is now gone, but I'll remember it as long as I'm alive, or that beautiful thing has gone on to heaven or to the next life or whatever. So it fits every situation. God damn. Okay, so
yeah,
back to this wonderful movie.
Tragedy Corner, the happiest corner around.
Okay, so we cut to Ja Rule asking Church Girl's parents for her hand in marriage. And as far as I can tell, about a week has passed, maybe, because this movie has not bothered at all to establish the passage of time. We've never gotten any kind of time montage or any just casual mention of, oh yeah, like when we went out a couple of months ago to this thing, just nothing at all. So, like,
it
bare
sounds
minimum,
like it's been about 6 days.
Yep,
based on scenes.
Based on sleeping and waking up, it's been at least 4 days. Possibly 3 years. I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, okay, let's really fucking work this out, because details are my thing. So, the beginning of the movie, the mom talks about wanting a sandals vacation. A Christmas has happened, right?
Yeah.
And then, what's the weather like by the time the mom takes the fucking bucket?
It's San Jose, California, and that's one of the great things about living there. The weather doesn't change all that much, to be honest.
Oh my god, that sounds like hell on earth.
No. San Jose.
I need to have the change of weather.
No. Well, okay, you do
How
get it in
will I know
San
I'm
Jose.
dying if the weather isn't constantly reminding me?
You do get a change, but like winter is like the highs are like in the 50s. It's almost never below freezing, and the summers are similar to here, but not humid, where it'll get up to 90 or 100 sometimes. But
okay, you can stop. You've already sold me with no humidity. I'm packing right now.
Yeah, seriously.
I've got the dog under one arm and the coffee pot under the other. Let's go.
Hawaii is 80 degrees every day, all the time.
Yeah, some of us don't get to get married and go to Hawaii. Some of us go home from your wedding and eat ramen and cry.
I'm just
a little bit of happiness for you, a little bit of sadness for myself. Actually, I was dealing with 3 drunk people.
They were that drunk?
My ex and my best friend slept the entire ride home. They were so drunk.
Jesus Christ. I wish I had been more aware, but there was too much going on. But anyway, my plan B in life is, if I just give up, is to be homeless in Hawaii.
You've mentioned that before, and it's pretty genius. Although I think the natives will just kill you. Who's going to look for you? There's no police there.
No, yeah, I'll have to be savvy. I'll have to suck a dick now and then.
It's island justice.
Yeah, I'll maneuver my way.
The wave brings them in, and the wave takes them out, brother.
Look, I'm not scared to suck a dick, and I'm not scared to stab somebody if I have to.
And there's another drop.
God damn it. Okay. Oh God, this movie. Where are we? Okay, right. Okay, so as for Church Girl's parents' hand in marriage, and the dad's all excited, and the mom is like, "Are you sure you're ready?" But she's come around because Ja Rule's mom has died, so now she has to be sympathetic. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
So now Ja Rule blindfolds Church Girl and takes her to a gang rape. Airplane hangar. Sorry. And they take off in a private airplane. And Stephen Baldwin shows up at the airport and asks for the flight records. And the person at the counter is like, "Oh, that's privileged information." And he pulls out his badge and is like, "I deal in privileged information." It's fucking stupid.
I'm hard for him.
So Ja Rule gets down on a knee and asks Church Girl to marry him on the plane. So we get a montage of the DEA arresting all of Ja Rule's homies, Triple H included. The homies call him from jail, and Ja Rule spends $2 million to get them all out on bail. Then he has a meeting with the homies, which you've just sprung them out on jail I don't know why you'd meet with them in person. That doesn't seem like something a drug kingpin would do, but whatever. So he finds out the DA is going after him, trying to get his boys to flip so they can get to him because he's the kingpin, whatever. So, church girl...
There's a plot?
I guess this is the plot.
Is this supposed to... This isn't a romantic comedy. It's a romantic drama, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's him finding faith.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's a Christian whatever.
Yeah, I guess it's not really a comedy, actually, now that I think about it for a second.
Because it somehow sounds worse.
I mean, I don't know. There's some, I guess, funny parts. And it's sort of treated like a rom-com, but it's also like a finding your faith movie, so it's kind of serious and heavy, like with the mom. Anyway, I don't know. So, So yeah, we had mom flatlining a few minutes ago. So how can we ramp up the drama now? Church girl is in a serious car accident.
Oh,
and she's in a hospital in a coma. Yep. So Ja Rule goes to the hospital. The surgeon comes out and says there's heavy internal bleeding, brain damage. She's in a coma. It's in the Lord's hands now. And he starts freaking. And the church girl's family is there, and they're begrudgingly accepting him, but they're super religious. But he freaks out and says, "I'm tired of hearing it's in the Lord's hands. Somebody else needs to take the wheel because the Lord is out to lunch." Which, I was alright with that line. I'm alright. It's stupid, but he's got a point.
God.
He's got a point. So then he's had his outburst, and he kind of quiets down and says to the family, "Look, I'm sorry, but I gotta go. There's someone I gotta see." Larry, who do you think he's gotta see?
Can it just please be Jerry Rice?
It's not Jerry Rice.
It's Stephen Baldwin, isn't it?
Nope.
Michael Madsen.
I'll give you a clue. It's an executive producer of the movie.
It's God!
It's God. He needs to see God.
Why couldn't it have been Jerry Rice?
So we cut to Ja Rule standing in front of a giant stained glass window of Jesus in a church.
Oh, is it like sexy on the cross Jesus?
No, it's all pixelated and weird. Like, stained glass is kind of naturally pixelated, but this is not good stained glass. I've seen good stained glass. I appreciate good stained glass.
Is it real or is it green screened?
No, I think it's real, but I don't know where they... Well, no, they got it from the shitty, recently built on a hasty budget, because fucking Joel Osteen pocketed the rest of it, megachurch, that they filmed it in.
Yeah, he's human scum, by the way, if you're not aware. He's human slime, and he deserves the death that's coming to him eventually.
I'm not
alleging anything.
Who fucks more Badgers, him or Steve Austin?
I think Steve Austin has got the Badger market on lock. I think Joel Osteen is
that's fair.
Fucking human souls. Seriously, fuck that guy. I'm calling him out.
So Ja Rule goes up to the stained glass window of Jesus and starts off his speech by saying, "Good, I'm glad you're here."
That's pretty good. I like that. You've briefly won me over, Ja Rule.
So he yells at God for a while, like, "Oh, you took my mom, and I didn't say anything," but and so he gets all angry, and the acting in this movie is all very, very bad. Ja Rule is not a good actor, but I'm surprised he was not worse. So I'll give him credit for that. That's very little credit. And in this scene, he pulled off the angry, sad, yelling at God thing. He's actually... I don't know if he made himself cry or if someone just threw salt in his eyes, but I'll give him a little credit here. He acted like a sophomore in a high school production who's good.
Okay.
So, not bad. So yeah, he yells at God and then eventually turns into begging. Like, "God, please, I'll do anything. Whatever you need me to do, I'll turn my life around.
I'll suck your dick."
So, the DEA agents, now we cut to them swarming Ja Rule's house. They arrest him. He's getting interrogated, and the DEA is trying to get him to flip on his homies.
They just arrested the homies.
Well, they're out on bail, and they didn't turn him in, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Why am I questioning the plot of I'm in love with a church girl?
So, the chief, who wanted to stop this whole investigation from the beginning. Again, I don't think the DA has a chief. I think they have a director, but whatever. Just nitpicking me. God damn it. He knows, I guess because of the intense surveillance Stephen Baldwin's been doing, he knows Ja Rule's been going to church recently. So he gets this brilliant idea, and he like goes up to Stephen Baldwin. He's like, I got one more thing to try. Like this hardened cop. So he goes into Ja Rule and says, yeah, I know you've been going to church lately. I bet you know all about it. Confession, right? Well, I'm going to leave this piece of paper here, and I think it's time for confession. You know what confession is, don't you, boy? And then he gets up and walks away, and Ja Rule gets all agitated and swipes the paper away. So it's like setting it up. Like, he just asked God, I'll do anything. I beg you, spare Church Girl's life. You took my mom. You're punishing me. Don't let Church Girl die because you're taking it out on me. I'll do anything you want. Then the fucking chief of the DA comes in with all this confession shit. So the logical storyline is Ja Rule confesses to being a drug dealer, and then she wakes up out of the coma, and that's the sacrifice he's made for her, right? That would make sense.
In the context of this insane religion, yes.
No, that's not what happens. Ja Rule does a bedside prayer next to... And he just gets out. He gets out of the DA situation because he doesn't give them anything. And Stephen Baldwin's like, maybe he wasn't a criminal all along because his mom just died. Whoa.
Also, I never took the lens cap off my camera. And I accidentally jammed my recording device into a hot dog.
So Ja Rule's in the hospital. He does a bedside prayer. We get a montage of him holding her hand, praying over her, laying next to her, sucking her toes, whatever. She wakes up.
Yeah, as you do.
There's no confession. There's no logical, poignant conclusion to his story.
What?
That's it. She wakes up. She wakes up. She's fine. They cut to church, and the pastor says, Jesus, whatever, Jesus, we love Jesus. This family of our church had some shit happen to them, but Jesus was there. And if anyone wants to come up and accept Jesus into their heart, they should probably fucking do that or whatever. So Ja Rule gets up and accepts Jesus into his heart.
But, so, he learned nothing.
Do you want the icing on the cake, Larry?
Oh, boy. Yes, I do.
All of Ja Rule's homies are in prison because they didn't flip on him, and he never confessed to the crimes to spare them. So, Ja Rule, the criminal mastermind, whose homies have sacrificed their freedom for him, now gets married, has a kid, has a perfect life, and writes letters to his homies in prison about how perfect his life has been while they've been rotting in prison.
Wow. So he gets everything he wants and none of the bad stuff. So,
with no consequences other than his friends suffer vicariously for him.
Oh, so he's...
While he rubs it in their faces, too.
So this is Love, Wedding, Marriage 2, the Christian years.
Pretty close. The very, very end of the movie, we get a 3 years later, so we finally established a timeline.
Oh, 3 years later. Okay.
And we're at the church, and Ja Rule is a pastor.
Oh, they'll let anybody in.
His wife and kid are in the congregation looking on, and the very end of the movie says, in today's sermon, I want to talk to you about the power of change. And that's it. It's the end of the movie. And we get an outtake reel over the credits, which does not belong in this movie. Like, I get it, in the Smosh movie it was annoying, but it's a stupid comedy, it was fitting.
I think
this is just
Marriage
weird.
had an outtake reel that was terrible as well.
Why do they do that?
Padding? I don't know.
They didn't need to pad. This movie, again, and I love you, and it didn't go over 2 hours, so I can't strangle you to death. But it was an hour and 50 minutes. They did not need to pad anything in this movie. They had plenty of pad built into it.
That's so long. I'm sorry. I keep doing this.
As long as it's not over 2 hours, I will still love you and not murder you.
That's too much. That if I accidentally pick one in the future that's 2 hours, just stop me. That's too much.
All right, but it's getting hot. It's getting late, and I need to put you to school, and I need to tell you how you're suffering next week because I need retaliation.
Oh man, I think I know.
So I need you to put your propeller beanie on, and we're going to school, Larry.
Oh, this part. Okay, this is my favorite part. I thought I was getting my movie next.
Okay.
I forgot about this.
Oh yeah, we're taking a brief detour before you suffer.
Oh man, a master's thesis is about Christianity. This ought to be not offensive at all.
I almost went down a very different path, and then I backed up a little. Okay.
Send me the first draft. I want to chuckle with over a glass of Merlot made of my own.
I smashed my computer and burned the remnants.
Yeah.
So
not the first time you've done that in our friendship.
The filmmakers have bottled the lightning that is the Christian faith into a 2-hour journey where we, the audience, are gently led by the hand of our one true savior, Ja Rule. Mr. Rule exudes the profound importance of earthly wealth, because how is Jesus to know you deserve to walk alongside him in the garden of heaven unless you have left Benjamins in the collection plate? Mr. Rule exemplifies the power of confession to the path of redemption, where he gets exactly what he prays for without confessing to or suffering any consequences of his multitude of federal crimes. Finally, Mr. Rule proves the value of friendship for allowing his longtime friends to go to prison instead of him and sending them letters describing how wonderful his life is. I wonder how wonderful his life has been propped up on the backs of their incarceration and suffering. Thank you, God, for being an executive producer of this movie. Amen.
Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest.
Oh, man.
Wow. I do love
feeling-
hymns, though.
I'm feeling faithful.
Golly, that's rough.
Yeah, this was pretty bad.
And you know what? It's like shitty plot surrounded by shitty plot, but the center of this Oreo, there's like, I feel like that dinner scene where there's the questions going back and forth, and like I think that's what that was the key. That was the whole thing. That was where it was all leading up to.
Yeah, just
to get the message across. Also, does he give away all his drug money?
No. Well, it's not implied.
It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for someone who is rich out of the kingdom of God.
That.
Matthew 19:29, 24, or whatever.
There's that.
Yeah.
No. Song of Solomon. Whatever your breasts are like Vaughn's. Whatever.
And she got a great ass.
Yeah.
Solomon 4:14. I don't know.
Oh God. All right. So I think we need to prepare the listeners for what's coming up in the next couple episodes.
Yep. My brief respite is over. Back to work.
So we're wrapping up episode 14 here. Next week we're coming in on episode 15. Mm-hmm. And Larry, you're going to be watching a movie. Now, I know you like the original of this movie, as I've teased.
Yeah.
This is the sequel.
I think I know what it is. Based contextually, I think I know
you might be right, and I want you to ask or answer me one question. What's your favorite Disney movie?
Fuck, it is. My favorite Disney movie, and this is probably not most people's favorite, it's The Emperor's New Groove.
The Emperor's New Groove is a fantastic movie.
Oh,
it's at least in my top 3 for Disney movies. I mean, Aladdin's right up there. It's hard to say, but it's
Aladdin
fantastic.
Aladdin is my very close number 2.
But
I'm not a huge Disney fan, but I fucking love Emperor's New Groove.
I didn't know there was a sequel to this until I stumbled upon it on Netflix.
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
It's real bad.
Oh, you poor man.
It's a Disney sequel. They're never good.
Well, I think the second Aladdin, like the second Lion King, were like passable. They weren't terrible. They weren't nearly as good as the originals.
Oh God.
But So the first movie was Emperor's New Groove. So is this movie Emperor's New Groove 2, or is there a different name for it?
There was a TV show, so I may be getting confused, but is the second one called Kronk's New Groove?
Kronk's New Groove. Yes, sir.
God, fucking damn it.
Yes, sir. You will be watching Kronk's New Groove. I didn't know Kronk had an old groove, but he's got a new groove, and you'll be telling me all about it next week.
God. I was afraid of this.
Yeah. And again, I know it's going to be bad, but like last week, Cabin Fever, you said that was the best movie you've seen so far.
That was
doing
the best
Bowels
movie
here.
on Bowels that I have seen, yeah.
So because of your love for Emperor's New Groove, I did feel a little twinge of risk.
No,
but I'm feeling a little better because of your despair.
You know what? If it was like... Because what's a Disney movie I don't give a shit about? Fire off Disney movies.
What the mermaid Ariola Ariel whatever.
I've never seen Little Mermaid.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast.
I've never seen that.
What?
Okay,
you don't watch the girl movies.
I lie.
You're such a sexist.
Beauty and the Beast 2 I've seen, and Tim Curry is an evil organ, and it's amazing.
I have not seen that one, but Tim Curry is an evil organ.
The plot makes no sense, but Tim Curry is an evil organ, and it's fantastic.
Now, Tim Curry is an evil organ. You mean like piano pipe organ, not like a man's organ.
No.
Okay, good.
Also, Beauty and the Beast 2 takes place in the middle of Beauty and the Beast 1.
Oh.
There's a time skip in Beauty and the Beast 1, and Beauty and the Beast 2 is about that time skip.
Interesting.
Yes, it makes no sense when you put them in the context of the movie.
Did you see Bambi 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, that's the movie where they bring her mother back from the dead.
I was going to say that. Because that's what happens.
Frankenstein? Because you say Electric Boogaloo, I'm just thinking her getting hit by lightning.
I don't know if I ever told you this story, but I was a big Bambi fan when I was a very small child.
Let me just slow the fuck to pump the brakes. There's Bambi fans?
Well, I wasn't part of the fan club. I was 5, and
Did you have like a Bambi lunchbox?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't remember my lunchboxes from age of 5.
I want to steal your fucking lunch money, you nerd.
I enjoyed the movie Bambi quite a lot, and I was very upset that Bambi's mother got killed. Spoiler alert.
I cried when I was a child.
For whatever reason, I was convinced that the Native Americans killed Bambi's mom, even though that's not who did. It was just regular white hunters. But as a 5-year-old in the 1990s, I believed Native Americans killed Bambi's mom. And I lived in San Jose, California, which had a very diverse population, a lot of them from the country of India. And because I blamed Native Americans for Bambi's mom's death, I would just walk around all the time muttering, "I hate Indians. They killed Bambi's mom."
Shut the fuck up.
Ask my mother. She was mortified and is still mortified to this day.
That's amazing.
How do we get off on this tangent?
Disney movies. It always goes somewhere.
Kronk's New Groove. Have fun. What am I suffering through on episode 16?
Well, we're going to dip a toe into something that I'm kind of shocked we haven't done yet, but I think it's because the quality is actually generally high, but I cannot foresee this being anything but the worst. So we're going to take our first dip into a Netflix original.
Oh.
The first time we've done that on the Bowels of Netflix, which I
was worried you were going to say Transformers, and then I was going to cry.
There's Transformers on Netflix? Hang on.
I don't think so. I just hope that never happens.
You answered that awfully quick. Oh, Transformers is indeed on Netflix. That's good to know. That's a TV show. Okay.
But anyway, Netflix original. We have not done this before.
It seems kind of odd because this is the Bowels of Netflix, but the quality of Netflix originals is usually quite good. At least historically. There's now so many, I can't keep up on what's good and what's not.
I think they're diversifying a little too much in their creative department, so there's just bound to be stinkers.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff we get drawn to, like BoJack or House of Cards, fucking Kevin Spacey fucking ruined it. The fucking asshole.
He really did. Well,
but Robin Wright,
the writing of House of Cards is also starting to ruin it.
Yeah, it kind of went off the rails. But I'll still watch it because Robin Wright is going to be in control and she can do no harm.
Yeah. God bless that woman. If any harm ever comes to her, I'll kill the offender and go to jail with a smile on my face.
So, Netflix original.
Yes. And when I was looking through Netflix originals, because I went specifically looking for those because I wanted to dip a toe into that world. There was two in particular I found that are pretty not liked. But one I thought, I think I was just going to like. But this little gem, I thought, well, nobody could possibly like this. And that gem is starring famed primetime sitcom star Kevin James. And it is the memoirs of an international assassin.
Oh, no.
True memoirs of an international assassin. My apologies.
Fucking shit. Oh, we have to deal with the DEA twice in a row.
Didn't even think of that.
He's not actually a hitman, but don't tell the CIA, DEA, or Venezuelan rebels? This novelist story just got real? What?
He's like Angela Lansbury with like Murder, She Wrote, only it's Kevin James.
Didn't Kevin James die like 5 years ago?
I don't believe so.
Oh, that was just a pleasant fever dream.
He's alive and well, allegedly.
Great. God damn it, Larry.
Yeah. So, enjoy. Because I don't... Have you ever seen The King of Queens?
I've seen 10 minutes of an episode here and there.
You've seen too much. It's horrible.
Yeah, sitcoms.
He's not funny. He's the next iteration of Ray Romano, who is quite possibly the least funniest human on the planet.
Oh, God.
Least funniest? That doesn't sound right.
Least funniest. I'm gonna have to give you a Wes Anderson movie at some point.
I know. I know that. I've honestly, I just kind of have pins and needles on that because it's gonna happen.
Stealing yourself.
And like that is the one that's gonna be hard because I'm gonna hate it so much. But I know that it's probably technically good, and it's gonna really be hard.
There's a TV show on Netflix called Marlon, starring Marlon Wayans.
Really?
Can we do TV shows, or they have to be movies?
Maybe we can do. Maybe when we get tired of movies, we can do shorter episodes with like the pilots of TV shows.
I could see that being interesting.
Oh boy, the thumbnail of this looks just wonderful.
What, Marlon?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I guess we should wrap this fucking shit sandwich in a little bow, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's time for you to go back to San Jose anyway and be done with this life.
It is about time. I need
and
to
you can
catch up.
fly there with American Airlines, which currently has 20,000 miles to South America, which you can earn by the end of June.
Oh,
and you can experience premium economy with more room and more comfort. The ad went by too fast. So, by the way, I'm going to spend my American Airlines check on cocaine. Don't tell them.
Alright, well, we hope you had a good time. You did just listen to the Bowels of Netflix. If you made it this far, we're not exactly sure what's wrong with you, but thank you.
Join us in our insanity.
You could interact with us on the internet. There's a Twitter, there's a Facebook. Those are both at Bowels of Netflix. We do have the Gmail account as well if you want to send a little longer correspondence. That's bowelsofnetflix@gmail.com. Don't forget to rate and subscribe on whatever podcast apparatus you're gaining this podcast from. And just a quick shout out too to the music we have on this episode, which is all from Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech.com. The detailed credits are in the description of this episode. But if
Fine
you ever
purveyor of music and graph paper.
Yeah, it's an odd combination, but music and graph paper are available for free on his website.
Hey man, follow your bliss. I'm all about it.
This is true.
Skate fast, eat ass.
Skate fast, eat ass.
I didn't come up with that line, but I've always loved it.
I gotta get me some roller skates and live by that. But yeah, stick around till next week. And, you know, if you got nothing else to do, maybe watch The Emperor's New Groove, and that way you can be nice and prepared for Kronk's New Groove. Because that'll be coming hot and fast at you next Sunday. And on that note, have a great night. We'll see you next Sunday.
Smell you later. Call me back, Jerry Rice.